Roger Gourlay from Wallsend in Tyne and Wear, Sarah Wolanski from Bury in Lancashire, Bill McKaig from Glasgow, Martin Penny from Framingham Earl in Norfolk, Pat Byrne from Coventry, Ryan Hewitt from Plymouth, Graham Atkin from Sheffield, Roy Thompson from Glenfield in Leicestershire, Gary Lorison from Old Basing in Hampshire, Jane Mann from Harwood in Lancashire, Linda Nordgren from Cockermouth in Cumbria, Alison Shand from East Kilbride in South Lanarkshire, Richard Edmund from Comstock in Devon, Kenneth Crofts from Sanderstead in Surrey, and Derek Cathcart from Belfast are all here to play 15 to 1, presented by William G. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello. Our previous winner today is Bill McKaig from Glasgow, who is making his 12th appearance on 15 to 1. He's been a winner 6 times, has made it to 5 grand finals and been a 15 to 1 champion, and on one occasion carried off our finals board trophy. Welcome back, Bill. David Marshall Nichols and his score of 132 is the target for today's lineup. There's the finals board, and I have to say that I think it reflects the high standard of contestants we've had all through this series. Let's see if today can produce another star. 2 questions each in the first round, 1 correct answer from you to survive, and we begin with Roger Gourlay from Wallsend, Tyne and Wear. Roger, newspapers. What's the name of the parent company that owns the Times, the Sun, the Sunday Times, and the News of the World?
Mirror Group.
News International. Sarah, she was on the English throne from 1553 to 1558. Her half-brother reigned before her, her half-sister succeeded her. So who was she?
Elizabeth I.
Mary I, Mary Tudor. Bill, Africa. Who is Thabo Mbeki expected to replace as the political leader of his country later this year?
Nelson Mandela in South Africa.
Martin, the media and television. Queen's Cross in Aberdeen is the headquarters of which regional ITV company?
Grampian.
Pat, please. Shakespeare. Which of Shakespeare's plays is a tale of 2 cheerful women from a town in what is now Berkshire and how they outwit a London knight?
Little Woman.
The Merry Wives of Windsor. And Ryan, this is Shakespeare and opera. In which Verdi opera did the Merry Wives of Windsor dump an old knight into the River Thames?
No idea.
Falstaff. Graham, this is the media. Richard Lambert has been since 1991 the editor of which pink national daily newspaper?
Racing Post.
The Financial Times, the only paper printed on pink paper. Roy, Pharmacology. What generic term describes chemical substances that have the capability of destroying bacteria and other microorganisms?
Antiseptics.
Antibiotics. Gary, please. 2 national capital cities stand on the River Nile. Cairo is one, which is the other?
Nairobi.
Khartoum. Roy could have told you, could see by the look on his face. Jane, Parliament. What emblem or device is used exclusively on House of Commons stationery?
Eagle.
Portcullis. Linda, exploration. The 14th, 15th century Prince Henry of Portugal. By what nickname is he commonly known?
I don't know.
Henry the Navigator. Alison, please. Radio 5 Live, radio. On what specific topic does Richard Littlejohn host a weekly programme on which members of the public can phone in free?
Football.
Yes, it is football. Richard, still radio. Which national radio network proved popular with audiences when it launched its so-called World Cup free zone last summer?
Radio 2.
Classic FM. Kenneth, Proverbs. Virtue is its own what?
Reward.
It is. Derek, this is Parliament again. In the House of Commons, MPs vote aye or no. How do peers in the House of Lords vote?
Yea and nay.
Content or not content? Roger, your second question. Music and currency. The 100 marker banknotes of which European country bear a portrait of the composer Sibelius?
France.
Finland. Sarah, what makes opera grand opera?
When it's sung completely.
Yes, and there's nothing spoken.
Yeah.
And Bill, geography. Cuba, Jamaica and Hispaniola are all part of which island group in the West Indies?
The Greater Antilles.
Martin, please. Jane Austen. A kindly baronet takes in his wife's impecunious niece, who rejects the proposal of his elder son because she is in love with his younger son. Which novel?
Little Women.
Mansfield Park. Pat, please, the Bible, the New Testament. What term, meaning seen together, is applied to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark and Luke because of similarities between them?
Oh, yeah.
The Synoptic Gospels. Ryan, the First World War. Which country entered the war on the side of the Allies on the 6th of April 1917?
Was it Russia?
The USA. Graham, please. Still the USA. Topeka is the capital of which state of the USA?
Arizona.
Kansas. Roy, please. London. The remains of which 16th century theatre were uncovered during the construction of an office block in Southwark in South London in the 1980s?
The Globe.
The Rose Theatre. Gary, please. Food and drink. Which sauce made from egg yolks, butter, shallots and herbs is named after a region in southwest France?
No.
Béarnaise sauce. Jane, please. Archaeology. If an archaeologist uncovered a design made up of tesserae, what would he have found?
Pottery.
A mosaic. Television, Linda. The village of Aidensfield is the setting for which ITV drama series? Heartbeat.
Gone, yes.
Alison, please. Geology. Sapphire and ruby are precious varieties of which hard mineral?
Corundum.
They are. Richard, please. Medicine. Factor 8 is used in the treatment of disorders of what?
Skin.
No, the blood. Famous phrases. God's in his heaven, all's right with the world. Which poet wrote those famous words?
Keats.
Robert Browning. And Derek, in which language is the Doomsday Book written?
French.
Latin. Well, I have to say, I think for only about the third or fourth time in the 12 years we've been doing this, it's 10 down, 5 to go. Philip, please.
And they are Roger Gourley, Pat Byrne, Ryan Hewitt, Graham Atkin, Roy Thompson, Gary Lorison, Jane Mann, Linda Nordgren, Richard Edmond and Derek Cathcart. And of the remaining 5 contestants, 2 still have their 3 lives intact.
Well, Sarah, we start with South America. A correct answer to this question, and we can start nominating. An incorrect answer, and I'll move on to Bill. And remember, we only need to get rid of 2 of you to reach the final. Here we go. South America. The areas of Ipanema and Copacabana are parts of which South American city?
Brazil.
City, Rio de Janeiro.
Rio.
Bill, please. Music. The town of Titipu in Japan, the Tower of London and Venice in Italy. What's the musical connection?
The settings for Gilbert and Sullivan operas.
And a number, please.
14.
Kenneth. History. Indonesia gained its independence in 1949. From which European country did it gain its independence? No. The Netherlands. Again, please, Bill.
2.
And Sarah, on the same subject, from which country did the Philippines gain their independence in 1946?
Spain.
The USA. Bill, please.
14.
English literature, please, Kenneth. Which novel by George Eliot is the tale of a linen weaver living in a country village during the Industrial Revolution?
Silas Marner.
A number, please.
Number 4.
And Martin, please. The name of which stretch of the coast of Spain means wild or rugged coast?
Costa
Quickly.
Brava.
A number, please.
Number 12.
And Alison, famous seconds. St. Peter was the first pope. Who was the second pope?
I don't know.
Linus. Again, please, Martin.
14.
And Kenneth, Broome Castle, Furness Abbey and Lanercost Priory are all in which county?
Northamptonshire.
Cumbria. Well, I might well have plenty of time to chat at the end of this programme. Anyway, before that, after the break, Bill McKaig from Glasgow, Martin Penny from Framingham Earl in Norfolk, and Alison Shan from East Kilbride in South Lanarkshire will be here for the final. Do please stay with us.